Good evening. My name is Karen Batty, one of your executive directors, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about how to have a long-term successful business. If you're new, or even if you're not new, but you've been in business a while, have you ever looked at some of those people who have a consistently strong business and wonder, how did they do that? I mean, month after month after month, they have consistent high sales. Month after month after month, they're consistently adding new people to the team. Have you ever wondered how they do that? Sometimes people think it's luck, like, oh, I bet they have a really supportive family, or I bet they have a huge network of friends, or maybe they have a really supportive spouse. Well, the truth of the matter is, I don't know anybody who has all three of those things. We're lucky if we have one of those things. But I have been with Pampered Chef a long time, and I've worked with a lot of successful people. And I do know what a lot of successful people have in common. Luck is not one of them. All right. So one thing that everybody has in common when they come to this business is that some parts of the business come very easily and fall into place, and other parts don't. What those parts are going to be for you, I don't know, because it really depends on our life experience and sort of our gifts. But there is one thing that is true. Every part of this business is learnable. So yeah, you might come to this business and parts of it just fall into place and other parts don't. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just think to yourself, okay, this is where I need to spend a little bit of time to learn that part of the business. Okay, so there are what I call 7 successful habits of a consultant. Okay, so these are the success habits, and these are the things that most every successful consultant has in common. Number 1, successful consultants set and track monthly goals. Okay, so you want to think to yourself, okay, what's the next month? What do you want your goals to be? And I encourage you, don't base it on what you think you can achieve. Base it on what you'd love to achieve. Okay, and then track your results. If you don't set a goal, you probably won't be as productive. You'll likely work kind of aimlessly. Not having a goal is like getting in the car and say, I want to go for a ride, but I have no idea where I want to go. Having a goal is like your GPS for your car. It gives you a direction so you know you're driving towards something that's meaningful for you. Okay. Number 2, set and honor weekly office hours. Okay. Our hours in this business are flexible but not optional. If your boss told you that you needed to show up for work, but you said, oh, sorry, I was just too tired. Oh, you know what? There was a movie on that I wanted to see, right? Or the baby got fussy. And so you just didn't show up for work. Do you think you'd have a job for too long? Probably not. Well, the same is true with your business. But guess what? You are your own boss. So if you would give yourself a pass and say, that's okay, you don't have to show up, it's all right, you're not going to have a strong business. But what's really great news is that our office hours really don't need to be hours. You don't need 40 hours a week to have a strong business. You don't even need to put 20 hours a week in this. For most people, 5 to 10 hours a week is what it takes in pockets of time. So be intentional. Look at your calendar. I encourage people on Sunday evenings, look at your week ahead and pick out your pockets of time and honor those pockets. Okay. Number 3 success habit is keep a strong show schedule. If you want to have a steady growth in this business and you're doing virtual parties, the key is 8 shows a month. That's 2 sets of, 4, because most of us do more than one virtual party at a time. It's silly to just do one when you can do 4, and it doesn't take a whole lot of extra time because it's like doubling or tripling a cookie recipe. You get a whole lot more output, but it's not a lot more effort. So if you do 2 cycles of 4 shows, so you're still getting 2 weeks off a month, you can have a good, strong business. Now, if you want fast-paced growth, then you want to strive for 12 to 16 parties a month. So that's more like 3 to 4 cycles of the 4. Okay? If you're wondering, oh my gosh, how would I ever book that many shows? Well, you start with a chunk of 2 weeks at a time and work to fill those first 2 weeks. Then once you've got those parties, you can hopefully work closely with your director and do the things to have the attendance and to inspire people from those parties to want to book the next few weeks. Okay, so pick your pace and stick with it. Number 4, embrace and work with the numbers. What do I mean? Well, many of us know that saying that for every 4 parties that we book, 1 will flop, 1 will drop, and 2 will pop. What does that mean? 1 will drop. It means someone gets sick, the host is MIA, it won't happen at all. 1 will flop. That means it'll happen, but it might not be terribly successful. 2 will pop. Those are the ones that are going to have good attendance and solid sales and bookings. And many of you are familiar with the numbers of how many bookings. It's usually 1 out of every 6 to 8 people that we personally reach out to and talk to about having a show. 1 out of every 6 to 8 is likely to say yes. So you just want to embrace those numbers. If you need 2 more parties, you want to embrace reaching out to 16 people personally. Okay. If you only reach out to 3, you might be disappointed and wonder what you're doing wrong. When the thing is, you're not doing anything wrong. You just aren't doing maybe enough of the right thing. There's also numbers when it comes to recruiting. There's what's called a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 principle. Okay. And this isn't made up by Karen Batty. This is done research by Pampered Chef. And it says for whenever we reach out and offer the opportunity to someone or to people, about 1/3 will say, yeah, I could learn a little bit more about that. We send them a little information, say, would you like to talk further? About 1/3 of them will say, let's talk further. And of the people we talk to in detail about the business, about 1/3 will sign. So this is where Pampered Chef says, for every 4, add 1 more. Think about it. For every 4 parties, and 1's going to drop, so you got 3 left. If you have, 10 solid guests from each of those parties, you're going to be offering the opportunity to 30 people. About 1/3 or 10 will say, yeah, I'll take a little more information. About 1/3 of those 10 will say, yeah, let's talk more. And about 1/3 of those 3 will sign. That's 1. So for every 4, add 1 more. So just embrace the numbers and work with it. And just know that you're going to get a lot of no thank yous, but that's okay. Think about when you go to a restaurant. Do they say to you, would you like to start with a beverage? You're allowed to say yes, you're allowed to say no. It's nothing personal, but they always offer it to you, right? Okay. Number 5, the fortune is in the follow-up. So when you are setting those office hours, you want to specifically carve out some time for follow-up. Okay, with the people who've placed orders with you, or people who are members of a Facebook group, party group, even if they didn't place an order, but they were a member of the group, you want to follow up with them, thank them for being a part of the fun and seeing if they want to learn more, either about the business or about hosting. And you want to keep track of your leads. If somebody says not now, as far as, hosting or the business, say, oh, okay, is there a time that you think is going to be better for you? I'd love to reach out at that time. And then mark it in your calendar. Okay. Number 6, keep in close contact with your director and send screenshots. Guys, throughout the year, in different times, we're going to hear hesitations. People have hesitations about hosting. Right now with COVID, there's hesitations about maybe some of their friends being broke right now because they've been laid off or what have you. Send screenshots of your conversations to your director. Whatever you're hearing, believe me, we have heard it many, many, many times before, and we can help you with potential solutions to offer. Okay? Screenshots are the very best way we know to help you in real time with what you are dealing with in your business. And he or she who sends the most screenshots wins. And even if you think it's a no, send it, because we might see it as a no and say, yeah, this is a no. Or we might see it say, oh, this is a hesitation. Here's a solution you could offer. Okay. And the 7th success habit of successful consultants is you want to strive to build a customer base. You don't want to just sell to people, you want to build a customer base. Somebody once said, you want to build a customer base, not have a series of one-night stands. So how can you do that? Well, you want to have a Facebook group. We call it a VIP group for your customers who want to stay up to date on all things Pampered Chef. You can invite your family and friends, your Facebook friends, and then you can invite your hosts and all of your guests. Okay. And what I recommend is send out 10 new friend requests every single week. Okay. Maybe it's favorite hosts, favorite customers. Okay. Expand your network. Okay. And invite to your VIP group. I give people an extra ticket into the drawing when they join my Facebook group. About once a quarter, I do a drawing in my VIP group. I tell them, you know, hey, who do you know that might want to be up to date on all things Pampered Chef? I'm going to be showing off the new products pretty soon. Add your friends who might want to see them, or invite your friends who might want to see that into our group. And over the next 48 hours, every time you invite someone who joins, you get a ticket into a drawing. And guys, I don't give away anything big. Something from the dollar store or a Season's Best recipe booklet, something easy to mail. Okay. And then set aside time once a month to follow up with past customers. See how they're liking their products. See if they need a recipe idea. See if they want to hear about the current specials. Aim to be of service to them. And then lastly, when building a customer base and you've got that VIP group, follow the 80-20 rule for posting. If you're going to have 10 posts in a week to your VIP group, 8 of them should be something that's fun, like a recipe or a game or a, hey, caption this picture or something like that. 8 out of 10 should be along those lines. 1 should be booking related and 1 should be recruiting related. Okay. All right. So guys, I'm sorry that my Zoom thing wasn't working tonight, so we couldn't do this with the group and open it up to Q&A. But if you've got any questions about what you've heard, message your director, and we'd love to talk with you further. Okay? Stay well, stay safe, and keep cooking.